Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. You may be familiar with validation rules where you can say this field has to have a value that's in this range, right? Total credit limit can't be more than $5,000, for example. That's a single field validation rule. What we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to do a table level validation rule. What that means is you can compare multiple values in that record. For example, we've got a table where every night we put in the total amount that's in the drawer and the amount that's taken out for the deposit, and we've got to make sure that that amount that's left over is at least $100 in the drawer every night. So we're going to compare one field, subtract another field, and make sure that value is $100. You need a table level validation rule to do that, and we're going to cover that in this video. Today's question comes from Natalie from Detroit, Michigan, one of my gold members. Natalie says, when closing out my drawer at the end of each night, I like to enter the total amount of cash counted and then the amount taken out for the deposit. The deposit amount cannot be larger than the total, of course, but once in a while someone types it in wrong and messes everything up. Is there a way to have Access check this and not let them type in a value that would make the drawer go negative or below $100, which is the amount I like to leave in the drawer for the next day? In order to do this, Natalie, you have to learn how to create something called a table level validation rule. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here I am in my Tech Help free template. This is a free download from my website. If you'd like to go grab a copy, you'll find a link down below the video in the description section. Let's create a new table. Create table design, right? An ID, auto number. This will be for our drawer count every night. So the total amount will go here. The deposit amount will go next. And let's save this. We'll call this my drawer T, my drawer table. All right, primary key defined. Yes, that's my ID field there. Now, if you want to check what's entered into one of these fields specifically, you can use a basic validation rule that's based on the field itself. For example, total amount. Let's say total amount has to be at least 0, right? Can't be less than 0. Can't have negative money in the drawer. All right, so down here under validation rule, write greater than or equal to 0, and the validation text would be must be at least 0. All right, and you can do the same thing with the deposit amount if you want. That's a basic validation rule. If you don't know much about validation rules, if you've never seen this before, I've got a separate video that covers basic validation rules. Go watch that right now. Pause this. There's a link down below in the links section. Go watch that basic validation rule video and then come back here. All right, let's save the table, Control S. Now, if I go and try to put some data in here, and I put in something like -2, it yells at me. Must be at least 0. Okay, I get it. No problem. Hit Escape. Come back out here. Now, if you want to make sure that the deposit amount isn't greater than the total amount, all right, which would put the drawer negative, then you have to use a table level validation rule, not just a field validation rule. All right, we find that up here under the property sheet. Okay, these are the table properties. Okay, there's a validation rule in here as well. And this validation rule can use multiple fields. So for example, here we'd want to say total amount minus deposit amount is greater than or equal to 0. Or in this case, Natalie, you might want to say greater than or equal to 100 because you want to make sure you leave exactly $100 in the drawer, or at least $100. I know with pennies and coins and stuff, sometimes you end up leaving like $100.04 or something like that. But let's just make it round and say $100, okay? Now be careful here because Access sometimes turns your field names into strings. Let me show you. Let's say total amount, right, minus deposit amount has to be greater than or equal to 100. Tab. Now look what happened there. See? It put quotes around these. So that's not what we want. Be very careful about that. You got to put these in brackets, right? These field names. Usually I tell you in my beginner classes, if you don't put spaces in your field names, usually you can get away without having to use these brackets. But this is one of those instances where you do need them. Okay? So what I've just said there, it's a table level validation rule, which goes into effect when you try to save the record. Okay? It says total amount minus deposit amount has to be greater than or equal to 0. Or you can make that 100 if you want to. Okay? Right? And you can make the validation text must leave at least $100 in drawer. Okay. Close this. Save it. It says existing data might violate the integrity of the validation rule. Just say yes, that's okay. Basically, that means that it went in here and some of the values in here break the rule that you already have set. Okay, that's okay. All right, so let's say total amount is 150, deposit amount is 50. That lets us do it because the difference is 100. All right, what if I say there's 125 in there and I'm trying to deposit 75? Oh, I get yelled at. See? Must leave $100 in the drawer. Okay, so now I can hit OK. Now I got to come back here and change this. If I change it to 20, it's allowed. Okay, if I put $1,000 in there and try to take out 300, it's allowed. If I put $1,000 in and try to take out 995, nope. Must have at least $100 in the drawer. Okay, so they can't save that record unless they type in a valid value. So that's how you can use a table-level validation rule to check multiple fields. Want to learn more? In the extended cut for silver members and up, I show you how to extend validation to include multiple records. What we just did works great. Now we know how to do a validation rule for one field and for a whole record, for one record. You can do x minus y equals z, but that's only that record. What if you want to check more than that? What if you want to check multiple records in the same table or even values in a different table? For example, in the extended cut, we say, okay, we've got a total amount in the drawer that's taken in every day, right? And then we've got the tip withdrawals. And I want to say over the past week's worth of deposits, that tip withdrawal can't be more than 20%. So we have to count up the total amount over the past week, the total tip amount over the past week. And then we're going to say if that value is more than 20% of the total deposit, then don't let them do it. All right, we have to use VBA for this, a little bit of VBA, a couple lines of code, not much. We're going to use a BeforeUpdate event because it can be canceled. And we'll use the DSum function to add up records in a table. That's all covered in the extended cut for members only. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos. Gold members can download the databases. How do you become a member? Click the join button below the video. After you click the join button, you'll see a list of all the different types of membership levels that are available. Silver members and up will get access to all of the extended cut tech help videos, live video and chat sessions, and more. Gold members get access to a download folder containing all the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use. Platinum members get all of the previous perks plus access to my full beginner courses and some of my expert courses. These are the full-length courses found on my website and not just for access. I also teach Word, Excel, Visual Basic, ASP, and lots more. But don't worry, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to post any comments that you have. I do read them all. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free, and click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Click on the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. You'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted, so if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of building databases with Access. It's over 3 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. And it's also free for all members of my YouTube channel at any level. Want to have your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my Tech Help page and you can send me your question there. Click here to watch my free Access Beginner Level 1 course, more of my Tech Help videos, or to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video from AccessLearningZone.com.